come up with some really creative ways to reach out to those of us on the street. And one of the most interesting ones that I saw, the paying prostitutes for their time to come in and minister to them. Whose idea was that, and how did the program work?
It was really God's idea. You know, we had a serious problem of prostitution on Racine, and people were always calling up saying, you need to get the police to arrest them, you need the police, we have kids going back and forth, the kids going to school. And I was calling the police, it was going on, you know, and then, you know, one night, you know, I was thinking about it because somebody had called me and said, you know, these prostitutes are out here right now, and we got to stop this, we got to get rid of this, we got to get the police to be more stronger on this. And that night was a Saturday night, and I was going over my sermon, and God just slapped the hell out of me and convicted me that, you know, how did I deal with prostitutes? And he loved them, and he cared about them, and he tried to help them. And the next morning, I'm here giving a sermon at the service, and right in the middle of the sermon, which I had not planned on or not even given thought to, something, obviously the Spirit of God, prompted me to share what had happened that night. And I said, we're not calling the police anymore. We're going to try to do this Christ's way. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to go out to these women in the street, and we are going to pay for their time and see how we can help them. And we're going to go get trained. And there was a place here in Chicago, I think it was called the Genesis House, and they dealt with women prostitutes and trying to help them and care for them and heal them. And we had them come in and train. I asked for volunteers, and while I'm speaking this in the church, and a woman got up and put money on the altar, and she said, here's my, and I don't let people do that here because I hate that imagery where church do of throwing money down and all this. That's just nasty and dirty to me. But she put on the altar and she said, this is to help that project. And people started, we had about $3,000, $4,000 in like 3 minutes on the altar. And I found out later the woman who started that in the church was a former prostitute who I never knew. And so we got our men trained, and we went out in groups on Friday night, and we grew up in groups of 4, and go up to the woman and say, hey, we want to pay for your time. How much do you cost for a half hour? And it was funny because I was so naive that we had groups of 4. One guy was kind of the lookout on the street, and the 3 guys would go up and talk to her. And so many of the women said, well, I don't do groups. That's how stupid I am. And we had, no, we don't want to do anything except talk to you. And we wanted to tell them, we want to, how we help you. We're here because we love you, God loves you, we're to see how we can help you. One woman was just as easy as she said, well, I prostitute whenever I don't have money to feed my child. Well, we run a social service center. We can get you food until we get you a job. So some because it was homeless, some because of drug addiction, some because they worked for a pimp and they had no choice. So we actually, through Genesis, with a couple of women, we had to relocate out of the city in order for them to quit and stop and be safe. So we literally ended the prostitution on Racine in a matter of 3 months. Wow. By helping people instead of locking up people. And it was a real eye-opener for me that we're going about all these things the wrong way. We want to lock up the brother on the corner instead of saying, how do we help you? How do we help you get an education? How do we help you get a job? How do we help you get stabilized? So I think we've got to begin to approach the problems of our society from our faith rather than from the world's mentality, lock them up.
How many prostitutes were you guys able to help with the initiative?
Well, I don't know, because it started out just maybe helping maybe 30, 40 folks in the streets over those months. But then many of them had a friend they referred to us, and somebody else they referred to us, and you know, they began to come to us for help and get into our programs or to help get into a substance abuse program or housing or whatever. So I don't know all the number. We would always leave them with a sheet of paper with all of our numbers and services so they can touch us, because not everybody's really ready to change in a moment. None of us are. None of us change from our behaviors in a second. But we gave them something. So some was a month later, some was 2 months later, 3 months later. Said, hey, I got this paper from you back, you know, in June. I need help. So over a period of months, there were constant people coming back saying, I'm ready. I want help. Help me.